All right, it looks like I am live. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Appreciate all of you, those of you that come on TikTok. Hello. So today, those of you that are joining me on TikTok, welcome, welcome. Those of you that are joining me on Facebook, welcome, welcome. On YouTube, welcome, welcome. What the heck is going on with this thing? Okay, so this is Tammy Morrison. For those of you that don't know me, if you are watching me for the first time, if you're scrolling and you found me, welcome, welcome. My name is Tammy Morrison. I'm an intuitive healer, a spiritual teacher, mentor, and channeler, seer, all of these things. And so I am here today doing my Thursday Healing Chats live that I do. I'm offering some intuitive guidance. If that is something that you are looking for, you can ask a question and we will get to that. Today, I'm just doing them. So I'm not even charging today, but I wanted to just give this to the community. So again, I'm grateful to be here. I just wanted to just share today. I had an amazing experience today. I woke up this morning late. I had a doctor's appointment to go to, and I woke up late, too late. I set my clock and everything, but I went back to sleep. And then when I woke up, it was time. But anyway, so I got together with that and went to the doctor. And because you know how hard it is, I don't know if you know, but it is hard to get appointments to providers at this time. I don't know what is the problem, but after the pandemic, it was difficult to get into appointments. And so I finally got one with a specialist for my stomach because I had been having issues with that for the last year. And so anyway, I went in there and of course, they absolutely said not a freaking thing. I have to go and have some more tests done, which they're going to schedule for August. Thank God we could at least get in there. But Lord Jesus, they say all these things on these chats and stuff. It just said high CP usage. I don't even know what that is. And I don't know what they want me to do about it. I don't know. And then another one on this says too low FPS. My current frame rate is too low. What that means, I don't know. And what they want me to do about it, I don't know. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to exit that shit off my screen so I can see. Okay. Alrighty. So you guys know y'all can send me stars on Facebook. Just in case anybody is watching. All right. So I was so excited because I actually had a lunch date with a friend on yesterday, and she is an energy healer, and she actually is a really good one because she sent me some energy and it was amazing. And I actually sent her some back and it was amazing, of course. And so we decided that we were going to do a collab. So I'm so excited and interested in that. Working on getting that out there and together so that we can do a tag team with people for healing, and sending them energy, Reiki energy. A lot of people know it as, but energy healing is energy, and there's so many different types and kinds. And so typically what she and I both do is we do intuitive healing. So you tell us, what you are looking for, what is happening in your body, and what kind of things you need, and we send the energy there. So it's amazing how that works. And it just was so fire for me when I received hers. I mean, she because she has a beautiful energy anyway and an amazing spirit. But when she sent me that healing, it was something behind it and it felt so good. And it gives you such a peace and such a rush of good feelings. That is the one thing that I love about energy healing. And so and it's like, I love this work. I love this work. And so we did it distance, which was amazing because energy travels. You don't have to be in the same room with somebody to give them energy. You don't have to. Now, it's a good thing sometimes. Sometimes not so good, but I love doing it distance. And so that is the way that I have been doing it as well for a minute, because typically my sessions are on Zoom. So we gather together on Zoom when we do a session. Now, I do have also readings that I do that I send to you to your email or to your messenger. If that is something that you are interested in, I do personal readings that I call them angel intuitive readings that I send to your messenger or to your email. So we do not connect on Zoom, but the other sessions we do, we connect on Zoom. So simply just moving through gathering the information and being able to, navigate aligning your chakras and stuff like that. And then I have this session that I have been doing called Invoking the Goddess. And so it is a 30-minute session that I do with you. And this is what we do. I don't know if y'all can see that. Align and balance the chakras. I give intuitive guidance, do light language, purple crystal light activation, a Christ consciousness activation, and receiving messages from your guides and angels that I pass on to you. And that service is $87. And it's probably hard to see on TikTok just because it's backwards. But I just read what it was. And so that is a service that I do. That's amazing. I love it too. So if you're interested in that service, you're wanting to have your chakras aligned and balanced and, connect with your soul, because that really is what happens in those sessions. So super excited and super grateful to be here tonight. I will not be before you very long. I just wanted to come on and just show my face. Hey, Natasha D. Hammond, thank you for joining me. But yeah, so I'm just connecting because that is what I said I was going to do. So I'm trying to really be consistent and consistent and persistent. That's the word, because y'all know what? It is pretty outside and I really want to be out there because I live outside of Seattle in the Pacific Northwest. And if you don't know anything about it, the sun does not come out all the time. So when the sun does come out here, we want to be outside. Pretty much everybody wants to be outside. It's a thing here. It's like, we know we don't have that much sun. We know that the summers are typically about 2 months. So when they come, we like to enjoy it. And the people that are from here, they go outside. As soon as the sun comes out, it ain't got to be warm. They come out of their clothes. I mean, everybody's got tank tops and, booty shorts and all this stuff because the sun is out, and they don't get it all the time. So, but people like me, I still got my long sleeve shirt on because it is 70 degrees outside. It's beautiful, but 70. I know, Natasha, I like to do it outside, but the problem is I'm doing it on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. So I'm on my laptop for Facebook and YouTube, and I'm on my phone for TikTok. And the problem is you can't get no signal out there. It's terrible. I mean, I barely get good signal in the house. The internet sucks. So outside, if I do it outside, I just do one platform on my phone. Usually I'll go on TikTok outside or even sometimes Facebook. But in order to get it on all of the platforms, I got to do it on my laptop and, on my phone for TikTok. So that's why. But I do a lot outside. Like I probably, I may go to the beach when I finish this and record some TikToks out there because that's what I like to do because I love the beach anyway. And sometimes I need that time and that peace. But I might just do that tomorrow because it looks like we're going to have sun tomorrow too. Because that's the thing here. It's like you have sun today and you might have sun tomorrow, but the next day you might not have no sun. And then you might not have sun for 3 or 4 days. And then it might rain. I mean, it's just crazy how that works here. So I'm trying to navigate it. And because that struggle was real for me, especially when I first moved here 3 years ago. I moved here from Arizona. And so it's like I went from the land of the sun because it was sunny all the time. And then I came to the land of the rain where it rained all the time almost. Exactly. You're right about that, girl. You are so right about that. Let's do that. Okay. So, but yeah, so So once I begin to navigate that and kind of get adjusted to it and kind of be like, okay, oh my God, oh my God. Now I am. So now I'm from the South. I'm from Savannah, Georgia. So, I was used to heat, and I lived in South Carolina for 16, 17 years, and then Arizona for 7 years, and then here and a few other places in between on the East Coast. But now I've been out west, and it's been a beautiful journey for me. I've been out west now for 10 years, and it's been a beautiful journey, and that's probably where I will be because I enjoy it out here. It's a lot of things that are happening. They do a lot of things, and then they do things a little differently. And one thing I learned about this particular state that I'm in now is they like to take care of their people, and they don't do that in many of the states that I have lived in, like the piss poor, pitiful poor southern states. They don't give a shit about their people. But here they do. They really kind of try to take care of the people. It's like California and New York, really, because New York does the same thing. You just can't do all kind of things to people and just do things like they do like in the South and Arizona, Texas, and some of those places, Arkansas, and places where they don't care about their people. But here they do. So that is the one beautiful thing that I love about this state. They pay well usually here. As far as jobs and stuff, I've made the most money that I have made in my career here. Um, my husband got like a 3-time raise when we moved here. So it was amazing. So that part was great. It was awesome. And it used to be really, really high cost of living, but now compared to other places, it's about the same. It's about the same. I mean, we started looking around. We actually visited Phoenix in April, and one of my girlfriends, she lives in Central Phoenix, and she told us that they were paying $2,000 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment in Central Phoenix. And now Central Phoenix used to be the hood when we were there. It was a hood, so you could get an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, you get for $700, $800, $900 a month back then. But now, not so much. And the economy, they still ain't paying no money. So I don't know how people are affording that. But we figured it was like that all over, and that's what's going on. It's like everywhere it's going up on, the rent and housing and all that kind of stuff, but they're not going up on the wages, and that's a problem. You know, that's a problem, and I'm hoping that we can solve that, and we can do better, and we can get better. But I don't know what is going on with this. Hold on a second. Something is happening with my mouse, and it's just crazy. And what's wild is I got a mouse pad. That's the thing. When I didn't have a mouse pad, it seemed like it worked better. but now, but now I have a mouse pad. So now it's like, oh my God, you know? Oh my God. So how was you guys' day today? Nobody's talking to me, so I'm probably not gonna be on here too long. But I think I had a beautiful day. I mean, had to get up and go to the doctor and all that stuff, but I went to my happy hour that I actually enjoy that thing, and I'm honestly haven't really been a person to enjoy stuff like that, but I'm kind of like, getting in the swing of things and getting used to, being in those type of spaces, because I actually was invited to another one that I'm going to go into, and to be honest with y'all, that is so outside of my comfort zone, y'all. I am truly, truly an introvert. And people don't believe me when I say it, but I really am. I mean, I know how to extrovert, and I have extroverted. Yes, then Denise, it was a great day. Beautiful outside, and not stressful and crazy. Oh my God. Another book signing. Girl, I need to talk to you and see how you getting those, because I need to get some of them. Because I actually ordered 100 more of my books so I can do that. But I need to know how to get out there with that, because I've been actually going online and checking, and I was I was on YouTube University to see how to do it. But I'm going to say I have been so busy doing so many things, just like, because I got on Canva and I was learning how to do the brand thing, the brand kit, because I haven't done that and I know I need to. So I was on there trying to work on that, and then I've also been, I've created 2 ebooks in the last week. One on cultivating business success, which I'm going to drop the link in the comments, but it's an ebook and I think it's $5. So I'm going to drop the link in the comments here on Facebook. And I think the link is in the bio on TikTok. So you can grab that. It's amazing. I took a lot of time to create it. And then I also created a manifestation journal. And it's also out. Both of those are on PayHip. So I will drop the link in the comments for anybody that wants to grab it. Yes, you do need to get in my interview chair. You got the link. I'll drop that link for you if you want me to. Yes, you do. Before I stop interviewing everybody, because I'm actually switching my focus to interview intuitives and people in the spiritual spaces. But I need you in my chair. So I will drop that link also for you. That way you can get on that schedule, because I think it's pretty open. Yeah, I'll drop that link in there as soon as I get off. I'll find it and drop it. Unless, no, I was trying to see. Sometimes I have it open already and I could just grab it, but I don't have it open right now. So I will drop the link in there when we get off. That way you can schedule. I also drop the link for those ebooks, because those things are awesome. And I don't think I didn't charge that much for them. I think the business one is only $5, and the other one is a journal, manifestation journal. So I'll drop the link in that as well. Okay, I'll do that. Show enough. But yeah, so I'm super, super excited just to be here, on these platforms. I'm talking to you guys, and you know what? I'm gonna send myself some likes on TikTok. Because nobody's tapping the phone. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna tap it. Because I like myself. Yes, ma'am. You know how to find me. And for anybody else that comes on, especially for the replay, y'all can always pop in my inbox. I don't bite. Just as long as you're not popping in there, with no craziness, because I'm just not playing those games. It's funny because I was on TikTok one day and I actually had to block some people because they just were so crazy. And I was like, you know what? I'm not dealing with anybody's craziness. I was watching a girl on there one time and they had all kind of trolls coming through. And she was like, see, you will get blocked in this space because I'm not playing games with you. And she just blocked them. And I was like, you know what? I got it. That's what I'm going to do. So if they come on there, trolling and acting stupid and, putting dick pics and all kind of stupid stuff up there, they get blocked. Block. Because I don't have to deal with that. Especially not in my space. Oh, goodness. But anyway, I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me for these couple of minutes. I will be back on live again sometime this week. Exactly. People ain't got nothing better to do, but they gonna find another place to do it. Those are my boundaries. I mean, like, you will find another place to do it, and that's how that's gonna go. But anyhow, thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate that. It's not lost on me when people come and chill with me, because it's just you could chill with anybody else, and you could be doing anything else, and you could be scrolling and finding somebody else, and that is all good, and it's within your rights to do. So when you spend time with me, I truly do appreciate it. And I also, at the end of this, I also have to offer that I do spiritual mentorship, and that is something that is new for me, but it's something that Spirit has been calling me to do. So if you are interested in that, especially if you are coming from religion to spirituality, because there will be things that will happen to you that you don't understand. Your gifts start opening up, you start seeing things, hearing things, all of these things. And I know how that is. I know how that feels. So I am here for that. And so that is something that if you are interested in, I am doing. I actually have a 6-week mentorship program that I'm doing as well. So reach out to me if that sounds like something that you need. And most people do. I also am doing DNA activation, which is another service that I absolutely love. I geek out on all this energy work because that it's really what it is. It's energy work to help you shift your energy, align and balance your chakras. So if that is something that you're looking for and it feels good to you, and you like me and you want to work with me, then let's do it. Let's do it. Send me a message, DM me. My DMs are always open. Now, I do stop dealing with them after about 8 o'clock because I have to shut shit down. Those are my boundaries. I just cannot be on social media all day and all night. It just does not work for my life. So I shut stuff down. So if you send me something after 8, it'll probably be the next day before I respond to it. And sometimes I'm up and I'll read it, but sometimes I don't want to, be in that space because that's my time, you know, and that's something that has helped me and my mental health. Because, when I first got out here, God, I was on social media, it seemed like all the time. And I was like, no, I can't do this, because it wasn't worth it. I was on social media all the time, but I wasn't barely making any money. It was just a time suck. So I was like, nah, I got to do things differently. So I have shifted into, because I also work and do things out in the community as well, because I am not a one-trick pony. And I'm looking for speaking opportunities, engagements, and collaborations. And I'm looking for somebody to make my book into a movie. That is what I'm looking for. So Tyler, if you're watching, Oprah, if you're watching, Ava DuVernay, if you're watching, Shonda Rhimes, if you are watching, Viola Davis, if you are watching, Gabrielle Union, if you are watching, I am looking to make my book into a movie because it is a story about my life called Walking Away. No, I don't have a copy right here. But it's called Walking Away, Winning the War Against Shame, Abuse, AIDS, and Abandonment. It's my story. So looking for somebody to make that into a movie. So if you know somebody that is in that arena, please connect us. Please, please, please. But again, thank you so much for hanging out. I always love to come on here anyway, because I prefer to do lives than yes, yes. And if you're a new and upcoming producer or director, you're looking for some good content, that book is amazing. And if you haven't gotten my book, why not? Why not? Why not? So I guess I'll drop that link in here as well, because that book was fire, if I do say so myself. Everybody that has read it said it was a pretty quick read. It didn't take them long to read it, because it was a page turner. One of my patients told me, I gave it to her to read, and she told me that it was a page turner. She was like, I couldn't put it down. She said it was a page turner. And I didn't know at the time, y'all, that she had been an English professor. She had been an English professor at a university. And she was like, don't stop writing. You need to keep writing. She said, because this thing was so good. She said, I want you to keep writing and I don't want you to stop. And it was amazing because, I didn't expect that from her. But then, like I said, I did not know before I gave her the book that she was an English professor. We had talked about it, I think, after. Like, I had given her the book, and then she told me what she did, because I was her nurse, and we're talking, and she told me what she did and stuff like that. And then I was like, oh my God, and so of course I got a little bit nervous, because I didn't go to school for writing. I'm a natural writer. I write because I'm good at it. And I used to write in high school a lot, and I wanted actually to be a writer out of high school. But my people said, writers are starving artists. What else you gonna do? So I didn't do it. So of course I went into the family business. I became a nurse. And yeah. And so now I am free from that and at the place where I can do what I want to do, and that is, one of the things that I love to help other people with, because sometimes you just need a fresh perspective, somebody else looking at it from the outside to help you to see and to help you to shift and help you to continue to move forward and, to go on in your life, to refute all the negativity and all the things that could be coming around you, because that happens a lot of times and it stops us and blocks us many times. But you know what? It doesn't have to be that way. And that's one of the things that I love about this energy work, because it's so powerful. It's so powerful. And if people would just grab a hold of it and just open up. You're right. You're right, Denise. They were wrong and discouraged, but the time came around. Yes, that you're right. They were. But they didn't know. They didn't know. It's like our parents encouraged us to get jobs, that, they would say stuff like, well, go and, get a job with the government. Years ago, people would say, go work at the post office, because you make good money and, you retire and you work for the federal government and all this stuff. And these are the things that they said to us, go get a career. You can write, but you need to just go get a career first. You know what I mean? And, I never wanted to do that. I never wanted to do that. I never wanted to be a nurse ever. That was like the last thing that I wanted to do. But the circumstances at the time dictated that I needed to do that because I had small children that needed to eat. And they had a daddy that wasn't always concerned about that. And so, was what I did in order to survive and move forward. And you're right. The right time came. It's like when the opportunity presented itself for me to write in the collaboration. Unchain Me Mama is my first book, and it was a collaboration. And when the opportunity came for me to do that, it was right on time, And the thing is, y'all, I didn't have the money to buy in, because I think the buy-in at that time was something like $1,400 or something, and I didn't have it. I didn't know how I was going to get it. I just knew that it felt right for me to do this. And so that is another thing that, I want to share as well. You want to follow your intuition. If it says, and I call your intuition the Holy Spirit. So you want to follow the Holy Spirit. If the Holy Spirit says to you to, do the thing, then you don't worry about how it's going to get done. And that was the thing. I really, I struggled a little bit with it, because I actually borrowed the first payment. She gave me a payment plan, and I borrowed the first payment from my brother because I didn't have it. I didn't know, Yeah. And so, and then the rest of it just flowed through. It showed up. I don't know how, and I wasn't really concerned about how, but I just knew that it was something that I needed to do. And so I did it, and I felt the sense of accomplishment there. And that was something. And to me, that feels good. You know what I mean? So once I did that, then when it was time for me to write the next book, it's wild because, they have a saying that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so for me, I felt like I saw this girl do a live talking about writing a book and stuff. And I was like, I need to write this book. But the backstory behind that second book, Walking Away, my signature story, is that I wrote that book 3 times. That was the third time I had written it. I wrote it 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. I wrote it one time and I lost it on a computer. And then I wrote it the second time, and that time I said, I'm not going to lose it on the computer. I'm going to print it out, and I did. And then I lost it in a storage because I put my stuff in storage when I moved out west. I don't know what was I thinking, because I wasn't even thinking why would I go back and get all that stuff. And it was really just mostly books, because I had about 4 or 5 bookcases full of books, because I love books. I always have. And so I had about 4 or 5 bookcases full of books, and then I had like that book. And so I was like, okay. So now I realized that wasn't a book, because each one of them were different. And I think that I was so, hang on. Each one of them was different. And I think that this one was the one that was supposed to be published. This one that I wrote. Because to be honest with you, I channel write because I'm a channeler. I channel the divine. And so I channel write. And so I channeled that book. I wrote that book in 30 days. But that's typically how I roll. I do most things fast. But it's just, I don't know if it's that I don't really have patience. I don't know. But But I did. I wrote it in 30 days. Wrote it in 30 days. And I'm so proud of it. You know what I mean? Because I wrote it probably from a different space than the other ones that I wrote. Because the other ones, I think I was angry and, and frustrated and pissed off. And so I think I wrote it in that space. But this time, we were already divorced by this, because I wrote those books, we were still together. But by this time, we were already divorced. Everything was straight. I had forgiven him. It was okay. He actually called me and told me how sorry he was about how he treated me, and all of these things. But it was something. You know what I mean? And so I feel like, because I wrote this from a healed space, a space where I had already done so much healing, and I felt like that was the difference, and this one I could, because I can talk about it, the things that happen, I can sit, talk about it like it's a story, because that really is what it is. It's a story. It's my story, but it's still a story, and I can talk about it in that way. And that was powerful for me, and I think women that are going through similar things, or dealing with, any type of abuse in marriage, probably can really benefit from reading this book, really, really. Now, Tasha read it, and she said that it took her a while because it triggered her, because she was in the middle of that. And so it was like, okay. But I know other people that have read it are like, oh my God, I didn't go through quite like that, but and it doesn't matter. It's not that serious. I shared what I went through because I knew that it would help people to understand that if I could go through that for as many years as I did, and still come out and still be smiling and still be happy, and not be bitter and not be male bashing, because a lot of women go through these things and they end up being male bashers. They just be bashing men, and then they wonder why they can't find one, and it's just, to me, it's awful. But for me, I was never like that anyway, but it just was something to see, how the story progressed and how I was able to share it and tell it. And even on here, I when I first published that book, I did lives like every day talking about the book, talking about how I felt when I wrote it, how long it took me to write it, some of the things that were in it, without giving the whole, the story away, even though, if you read the title, you could probably figure out the story, but not everything, because I went into, a lot of details in this book, in order, because I wanted to make sure that it was valid and that it was true. Not that he's going to dispute it, because I know he's probably not even on Facebook or any of these social medias or anything, because he is not at that space. So I wasn't really thinking about that, but I was thinking about people that I knew that didn't know what was going on, because we put on mask. We put mask on. We don't show our true full self always. So we put mask on, and we're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, And so when people open up, it's like when people open up the doors to their house, you know what I mean? Then you see inside, and then you're like, oh, well, I thought it was this, but it wasn't that, because we put these masks on. I used to tell people, I said, now, we used to go to church, and sometimes we would argue all the way to church. And we didn't argue that much. It wasn't a thing we did. But every now and again, especially because there were times when he would travel, he'd be traveling for a week or two, and then he'd come home on the weekend, we go to church. And, so we didn't get a lot of time together, which was probably a really good thing too. But yeah, and we would do that. And then we would get to church, and it would be like you turned on another faucet or turned on whatever. And we would be like, praise the Lord. How you doing? Oh, wonderful. We're great. But we weren't great. We weren't great. And that is something, that's something, we weren't great. We had no idea. We didn't have a clue, and It was something. So I'm excited and grateful not to have to wear masks anymore, because I don't wear any mask. My husband now is amazing. Not that we go to church anyway, but I tell people that, we love God. We just don't do religion. Just not doing it. Not me. Because people are like, well, you listen to gospel music. I said, I listen to all kinds of music. I love music. And I do listen to gospel. I love that song that just came out. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be all right. Got God all over my life. Love that song. So, and people are like, oh, you listen? Yeah, I do. I do. I love it. I love music, and I love all kinds of music. I love jazz. That's my favorite. I love country music. I love certain types. Only thing I don't like is metal and that hard rock. I don't like that, but I like pretty much anything else. You know, I love that Ocean song by Hillsong. That is so amazing. That song takes me to a place. If you haven't heard it, you need to check it out, because it is it's like it brings peace, that song. So anyway, I'm gonna pop on off here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me and watching. I will definitely be back on again another night. I typically go live on Tuesdays, Wednesdays with my partner Megan Marie, Ebony and Ivory on spiritual growth. We come on and we talk about our growth processes in the spiritual growth. And so, and then I come on Thursdays, like today. It's today, and today's Thursday. And happy summer solstice, y'all. I forgot about that. And I hope you wrote down your intentions and your affirmations and what you're going to release and all of these things. And that's what I'm finishing today, y'all. But and I go live with Tasha. I think we're doing it every other week, like every other, maybe Friday or something. I don't remember what day we decided, but when we put out posts and let you know when we coming on. But we've been collaborating on that, so that's been amazing. So I do those lives, and then Sunday service with the Morrisons I do with Mr. Morrison. So we will be back on this week. We took a break last week because he had to work. I think the last 2 weeks he had to work like a long stretch because they had a situation at his job where he needed to cover. So he worked a bunch of days, so we weren't able to do it. And I don't mess with him when he works like that, because that's what he needs to do. We don't need to be on here with him, no. So we don't do it. So this Sunday we'll be on for Sunday service with the Morrisons. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. It has been always a blessing and a blast. Definitely I will talk to you later. Like I said, I'm going to drop those links. So if you're watching, or if you're catching the replay, go ahead and grab your book. Cultivating Business Success is an ebook, and it's $5, and it's got some wonderful tips in it, if I do say so myself, and some exercises to help you open up your intuition. So again, thank you so much. And if that is something that you are looking for and working on, if you're in that space where your spiritual gifts and you're in a spiritual awakening, then you might want to reach out to me and let's do some mentoring. So I have a few different ways that you can work with me. And if that is something that is, tickling your fancy, or you are enjoying my energy, send me a message and let's chat about it and see if it's something that we can come up with. Because I have several different ways to work with me. So again, thank you for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, night, or weekend. Bye now.